That the guys were talking about still not really being connected and feeling like maybe they made some progress with some team meetings and stuff, but that they still weren't all 5 point in the right direction in this game. Did you see any progress in that regard from the Iowa game? Do you feel like you made any progress in that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought we played harder tonight. Maryland's a heck of a basketball team, and they did a tremendous job of finding open guys, and they really shoot the ball well. Because of their ability to penetrate off the ball screens, we were in some scramble situations, and the three, our luck has it, we tip the ball out, it goes to them, they throw it to Trimble, he hits Mark was like literally crawling on top of me, hits a three, and it's like, geez. But I think I thought we executed better offensively tonight. We had just a better flow to us, a better pace to us, and we've got to understand those plays with 12 minutes going in the first half make a difference when we don't run back in transition, or we miss a layup and they get a dunk at the other end. Just giving them credit. I mean, as I told our guys, we played better, but we didn't play good enough. So we come back in and start again and get ready for Saturday. We got to continue to climb the stairs to success.
Do you feel at all familiar in that double-digit deficit, and you guys fight your way back, and you got within 4 times, but you couldn't get that basket?
Yeah.
Is it another case of just it takes too much energy just to get back in the game when you fall behind like that against a team like this?
No, I don't think so. The one thing you look at Maryland, I don't know how many, with the 9 Big Ten games, a lot of their games have been just like this. And even Saturday's game against Minnesota, they were down and just kind of made some really, really big plays. And I thought we did a good job of keeping guys as fresh as we could.
The tendency, I guess any sport in basketball, is to look at offense and you judge a team by the offense. But is it possible the elephant in the room, if there is one with this team, is defense, and guys just not playing defense like they should, not fighting through ball screens, just...
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Had a guy the last 12 minutes, and it just didn't look like he was playing
Right.
the defense he should have been playing.
Yeah. I think from the standpoint of, you look at the first two, I think they scored 24 points in the first 4 minutes of the first and second half. And, we were telling our guys we were playing on our heels defensively at the beginning of the game. I mean, they just sort of had their ways with us. Start second half, we didn't have the same energy. It's one of when you see it out there when guys are active, and we've done a pretty good job. We're a little bit slow at times on the screens, and that's what we're trying to get them to understand is like it's got to be every possession, so I think defense. 77, we gave up 85 or what it was the other night. We got to get back to locking down on the defensive end. That's for sure.
You mentioned the other day the proverb, I think is what you said, of not being able to lead unless you want to be led, and they just both mentioned that. How big of an issue is that with this team, that it's come up a couple times now in the last few days?
Well, I think from the standpoint of you're in those days and there's got to be a toughness element about you in terms of what you bring to the table every single day, and when we get that, we're pretty good basketball team. But I think from the standpoint of guys understanding, we're trying to give every advantage we possibly can for us as a unit to play our best basketball. And it can't be, you only listen on the offensive end, but you don't listen on the defensive end. It's got to be all inclusive.
Thad, I know you're not one to make drastic lineup changes usually, and I know you need everybody, but with the way that Andre and CJ seem to be playing, and they seem to be giving you what you ask for more often than not, are those two guys that need to play more moving forward, do you think? What they give you?
Yeah, we rode them down the stretch. Those guys were competing and did a really, really nice job. CJ was just so much more disruptive with the ball screens, and we went small at the end, and just because we were trying to be a little bit more disruptive with them. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I think those two guys are playing really, really good basketball right now.
That you now need to win 8 straight to match your Big Ten record from last year. Do you still see, with the way this team has played in the past month or so, do you still see a run? Is that still possible for this group?
8 straight? Yeah, we can do it. That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah, we'll see.
So, Jaquan doesn't play the last 12 minutes. He played basically the whole game until then. He's your second leading scorer, the guy with the ball in his hands all the time. That seems like something. Is that a problem? Is that, or is
No.
that a matchup?
Yeah, it was more of a matchup. I mean, you know, we just thought that CJ was being more disruptive in terms of you know, Trimble got going there for a second on his penetration, and you know, we couldn't take him off. We had made an adjustment. We got to play him again, so I won't say what it was, but it was pretty effective for us. And CJ just had a much better feel for what he was supposed to do with the guy he was guarding.
Okay, because I mean, he's an important part of your team,
Mhm.
Jaquan, and it just seems a little odd that a guy that important would basically not play in a tight game that you really could use a win, and you guys seem sort of better without him.
Yeah,
That's
Well, you
not
know,
weird at all, or
No, it was tonight was a plus minus still. You know, we keep a plus minus, and
his plus minus wasn't good tonight.
no, CJ's was tremendous, and that was kind of what we went with.
And so that we're 10 games into the Big Ten season, and these Jay Sean and Mark were talking about some guys are in and some guys maybe still weren't in tonight. Is this just the thing, you lose a game and they have to come up here and talk to us and say something? Or is there something happening that maybe is different than other years, that you're 10 games into the Big Ten and not everybody's in? Not everybody's on board, not everybody's focused, not everybody's playing hard. Is there something different this year than past years that's more of an issue?
Now, I can say this 100% guaranteed. On January 31st, for 13 years that I've been here, ain't everybody been in at this time of the season. And, I mean, that is what it
That's
is.
just life?
That is life in college basketball today. I mean, no. Talk to any coach in the country right now and the issues we're dealing with. I mean, it's incredible. But I say that like we've got major issues. We don't. I mean, my thing is I got to find 5 guys that are going to compete like crazy. And hey, I thought at the end of the game, those guys were competing as hard as they possibly could. You know, it's sometimes there's games where you say, hey, in the past this guy's done this. Tonight we were coaching in the moment. We thought those guys had given us a great opportunity. I mean, Andre Weston, what he was doing defensively with his size, I mean, he did a tremendous job of being in help. He was tagging, and you know, we thought that was the way to go with it. Nothing too deep on that. Yeah.
The decision to start Micah, I know Trevor came in quickly, but was that?
Just a coach's decision. Yeah.
Let me ask one more. Do you like this team?
I do.
Because I think I know how you want to play, how you'd like to do things, lock down on defense, and
Right.
when you see, I mean, I know sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but the effort, the focus, game in, game out, how do you normally feel with this team?
Yeah, I think this, Doug. This team is a team. We've got to keep our eyes on our blind spots, and we've got a lot of them. And it's a line from a John Hyatt song. If you Google him, he's a heck of a singer. And but I heard that the other day, and I'm like, God, he's talking about my team. Rob, you know John Hyatt? One of the best ever. And but I say that from the standpoint of we just have to get as connected as we possibly can. We've had some, you know, some incredible games that you know, before tonight with the 6-point loss, we'd lost 2 home games by a total of 3 points. You know, I think that we've put ourselves in some positions to have the opportunity. You know, you still look at no excuses, but we're still a young kind of basketball team with only 1 senior. But with that said, those guys have to those days are over in terms of feeling sorry for ourselves or whatever. We gotta find a way to beat a great basketball team tonight. We had opportunities and we didn't get it done.
One more thing about Micah and Trevor, coach's decision. How did you see that play out? How do you think those guys responded to swapping the roles a little bit?
Well, I thought they were good. I mean, Micah was, I thought second half he showed some great toughness on a couple of rebounds down there. I mean, big-time rebounds, had some blocks. And, Trevor was, I thought he rebounded the ball well. Had a couple finishes that didn't go down for him, but I thought he did a pretty nice job with it.
Simply, if you get like this, you seem pretty pleased with the effort you got tonight. If they give you this consistent effort, do you feel like you guys are going to win a lot of games down the stretch here?
I'm going to go back to what Doug's asked about the players just sitting up here having to answer questions. I'm not real happy right now. So, yeah. All right.